What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions. In today's reaction video, I am once again going to be checking out a band for the very first time. And I'm super excited about that, man, because lately I've really just wanted to discover something brand new to me, something I've never heard before. So recently, when I was having a conversation with one of our friends at Napalm Records, I straight up asked, is there anything brand new video-wise that you guys have coming out soon that I could check out? And they sent me a few things, and some of them were just new videos from bands I was already familiar with. But in that list was this band name. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw it, I was like, who the hell are these guys? I've never heard of this band. But that's perfect for what I want to do here. Now, I did a little background research, not too much because I didn't want to ruin it for myself, but I found out something really cool about these guys. Now, first of all, they're a three-piece band from Norway. And the really cool thing is that recently they were hand-selected by Lars Ulrich to be the opener on one of Metallica's last stadium tours through Europe and Russia. That's huge, man. And I'm kind of blown away that I've never heard of this band considering they've opened for Metallica. But these guys have been around for a little bit now, but they just recently signed to Napalm in December of last year. And while they do have a couple other studio albums out, their debut with Napalm Records comes out September 3rd, 2021, less than a month from now. And that album is going to be called Molotov Rocktail. And if there's anybody out there that discovers this band with me today and likes them, or anybody that already likes the band, I would encourage you to check out the links that I post below where you can do pre-orders and support the bands, because I'm sure they would appreciate it. Let's just jump into this, man. I will link this original video in the description below. And today, for the very first time, I'm going to be checking out BOKASSA with the brand new single, Burn It All. Let's go. I want to go back and start like the main riff over. The one thing I want to point out production wise, it sounds like those amps are about to explode, but it works really well with this style so far. Like you can tell in the recording process, they pushed those amps as far as they could go for sure. Really cool sound.
Another mind. I've been down since day one. I never compromise. I don't know where to begin. Since the day that I was born, I learned to recognize the enemy from within. Enemy from within.
So at first, we've got a huge rock sound going, and then a lot of punk influence starts coming out, like old school punk. some of this is a little nostalgic for me, growing up in like the Chicago punk rock and hardcore scene and stuff like that. I hear a little bit of that influence, but this is really cool sounding, man. This is what I would consider like garage music. And what I mean by that is like, if I ever I'll go out back, work on my car or something like that. This is the kind of music I would have on, garage music. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, this is great. One of the things about a lot of the music that I listen to is that there are certain times and places for different genres that I like. Like, every genre has its moment for me, depending on what I'm doing and where I'm at. And this definitely fits somewhere. I haven't gotten a good look at some of the gear, but I did see that they were using Victory amplifiers, which I haven't seen too much, but Victory is a custom handmade amp company from the UK. Starting to pop up here and there. I'm not too familiar with them. I'll do a little bit of background research, but I'm curious to see where this goes. I don't know if they're just like, because they're Norwegian, they're poking fun at the black metal scene, but we'll find out. Oh, I like that tambourine added in there. The devil takes another way. I've been down since day one. I never compromise, I don't know where to begin. Since the day that I was born, I learned to recognize the enemy from within. Enemy from within. Take it down. I just realized what they're doing. And if it is what I think they're doing, this is already my favorite music video I've seen this year. If they're going where I think they're going with this. So, and I've talked about this a lot with a lot of friends and stuff. So, as a metalhead, people that don't understand metal always come up to me and they're like, why do you listen to such angry music? And why are you so mad? Like, for the last 6 years, I've been a guitar tech in the country touring scene, and all day I listen to metal in my Guitar World while I work on guitars. And everybody from everybody else's crews is like, how do you listen to such angry music? It's like, and I'm like, I think that's what they're going with this. Like the Redneck Hunter dude, like these guys are just having a good time. They're having a good time with friends and hanging out and cooking and playing a fucking ukulele and stuff. And all this Redneck Hunter dude sees is just evil metal. Dude, whoever directed this and came up with this story, if I just nailed that and that's what they're doing, I applaud you for that, man, because that is phenomenal. Let's keep going, because I just heard a fucking sick bass tone. I learned to recognize the enemy from within. Enemy from within. Take it down now, take it down now. That's exactly what they're doing with this. That is so awesome. The dream is dead. 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 Before this last chorus, I have done like no gear breakdown on this, and that's usually what I do here. So while they're rocking the black metal stuff, I love that he's playing a BC Rich. He's playing a Warlock with like the tribal design on it, which for anybody that's not familiar, BC Rich is like the stereotypical metal guitar. They're not as popular nowadays, but they've actually been around for a really long time. Like BC Rich has been around since the 70s. And they're really popular in the metal scene. And not just metal, there were a lot of rock guitar players that used it. Neil Giraldo, Pat Benatar's husband that plays guitar in her band, he played BC Rich forever. And I think he still does. I couldn't see what anybody else was using. And it's really difficult to see a lot of this stuff in this video, but when they're in their normal getup, their guitar player looks like he's using, it's either a Gibson or an Epiphone. I think it's a Gibson, but it's a Les Paul. I mean, obviously, it's one of the most recognizable guitars in the world. It's also one of the top selling guitars in the world every year as well. Bass player, I haven't gotten a good look at, but from the back of the headstock, I'm 100% certain he's using either a Fender P bass or a jazz bass, or it could be a deluxe P bass, which has the precision pickup and the jazz pickup. I'll try and look into that and find out. But for the drummer, I can't really see anything that points out like what brands he's using, but I really enjoy this, man. This is also a band I could see, like, you know, they opened for Metallica, as we talked about, but I could see them touring with like Foo Fighters and stuff like that. Like, this is a really good sound. I really dig this. I'm really curious to hear more from this band to see if it's kind of the same or if they kind of go all over. But let's finish this off. I love how upbeat and positive that sounded when they're talking about burning it all down. Oh. All right, don't want to ruin too much, but I want to hear a little more, and it sounds similar. This is a band I'm going to get into, man. I dig stuff like this a lot. Let's go talk more about it. You know, a lot of people have pegged me as like this brutal metalhead, like that's all that I like, but I love music like this, man. It's really fun. It's really positive sounding. It's really uplifting, and it's just like, there's no overproduction about it. There's no like cheap frills or anything. It's just rock and roll, man. That's all this is. And there was a great punk influence in there too. Like, I don't know if I would necessarily call this punk rock, but it was definitely punk influenced rock for sure, man. Like, this is fun. I'm really excited to hear more from this band. And I can honestly see why Lars picked them to open for Metallica on that tour. So, man, new album coming out. I'm going to check it out. And like I said before, I'll drop pre-order links below if anybody else wants to check it out. There's social media links for the band too, in case anybody else wants to follow them and check out stuff. But if there's anybody watching that's actually already a fan of this band and is more familiar, let me know what other songs you think I should check out from these guys, because I would love to do more on this channel in the future. So thank you guys very much for watching. And if this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe, man. I release new videos all the time. Subscribing is free, and it helps my channel out a ton. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate the like, as it also helps the channel. But if you disliked it, no big deal, man. Thank you very much for your time. You are free to click dislike if you didn't like it. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I have a Discord server, I have a Twitch I stream on, and I'll throw links to all of that in the description below. My handle on everything social media related is @TankTheTech. Thank you so very much once again for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.